Live. All right, we need to have a serious talk, okay? It's getting weird out there. There is noticeably a lot less traffic outside on Broadway. So definitely is kind of a surreal experience going to the grocery store yesterday too. So, but hey, man, we're doing yoga and we're just chilling out and we're getting in touch with the breath and everything's going to be okay. So, but I do want to let you know a couple of quick announcements because, yeah, have you noticed that they're no longer saying quarantine? They're saying shelter in place. Shelter in place, which is, I think they're, putting a spin on it. And I just say, just keep spinning it and call it a staycation. There's a mandatory staycation coming. And the CDC, I don't know if you saw this, they now recommend that you wash your hands in the amount of time it takes to sing Hotel California by the Eagles. That's with the guitar solos, by the way. So you have to just keep scrubbing. Let's do some yoga, okay? And I love this hat. I don't care. I don't care what you think about it. One more thought. Did you guys notice yesterday I said at the start, like, we're going to get into some binds, and I'd start working the shoulders, and we're doing shoulder rolls, and I never got to the binds. So, yeah, it's really fun to do this live and just have mistakes recorded for a history for all time. So anyway, today I was feeling pretty anxious when I got up, and I think that there's that growing feeling that, oh wow, this is about to get weird. But remember, that's why we practice. Practice is preparation. So let's switch mics. Let's switch cameras. Let's do this. Don't break that. Somebody broke that. All right. Step onto your mat. Point your toes straight forward. Take a deep breath. Now take a moment to just feel your feet on the floor, kind of the way a cat, just mushes his feet into a pillow. Lift the heels. Now, try to curl your big toes to your heels. Deeper breaths. Spread those toes out. Did you guys see this? Now that I'm looking down. See, when I have like a black little microphone thing, so you can't notice it against a black shirt, but today I can't get away with it. It looks like I have like one robot nipple. So, point your robot nipples forward and slide your left foot back, flip your toes over. And try to drag your left foot forward energetically. That means it doesn't really go anywhere. But what we're doing is trying to lengthen from the knee to the big toe joint. And then take that knee up into the air. Tighten the belly and draw the pelvis back. Lift the heart up. And maybe try practicing lifting the heel of the foot you're standing on. That should be your right. Imagine there's a Lego block underneath it or a thumbtack, and you got to fall out of the pose or keep it. Now, draw your knee back, reach back with your right hand, pull your heel as close to your tailbone as you can get it, and if you can, hinge forward. Now, if you're really just struggling right here, if balance is kind of hard, you can always put your hand on a wall. Nobody's watching. Do whatever. Pull your heel to your tailbone, hinge forward. If you can, if your balance is allowing it this morning, palm to the knee, lift the left knee, push the right knee into the palm, release, come back up. So this is never going to change. I want you guys to learn this method of starting to wake up stabilizers and loosen up some tight muscles with some basic movement patterns. You're going to step the left foot back onto the ball of the foot. Turn your palms and slowly hinge. Right knee's bent. Chest is hovering over the floor, and so are the arms. And as you push back and straighten your right leg, left knee bends. Hands reach forward. Connect your thumbs over the crown of your head. Reach back as you push forward, bending the right knee, and then push back. Left knee bends, right leg straightens. Float those arms above your ears. Reach back, push forward. One more time. Push back, reach forward. Hold it here. Really open up those hands nice and wide. Lift the left heel and straighten the back leg as you rise. Step and connect your palms. Take a deep breath in. Exhale to the right. Somebody's chiming in over there. Inhale back to center. Exhale to the right. Pressure in your palms as you lean. Come back to center. Exhale to the right. So this pattern that I typically start all of my classes with, it's the same pattern I do as soon as I get out of bed. And about the only thing I'll do before this is go to the bathroom. Lift your right heel or lift your right knee. And then come back to center. And then lower your hands. Look down at your feet again. Take a deep breath. Everything's going to be fine. We're going to keep breathing. But in my head, here's a weird reference for you. Like back in 78 or 79, Animal House, right? Kevin Bacon was in Animal House. Do you remember that? And there's this one part where there's massive panic on the streets, and he just holds up his hands. Everything's okay. All is well. That little Kevin Bacon is in my head these days right now. Just like, everything's okay. Do not panic. Let's do the other side. Slide your right foot back. Press down into your big toe joint. Now that could be uncomfortable, right? Shouldn't be painful. Yoga is about discomfort. It's about becoming comfortable with discomfort. It's about embracing that feeling of awkwardness that, like, I have being recorded live every single day, but I chose it. I'm going to embrace it. Embracing the discomfort. Embracing my robot nipple. Yes. Lift your right knee into the air. Pull your groin back. Lift your heart up. Point your big toe down. Practice lifting your left heel. And if it goes straight back to the floor, or if you fall over, it's okay. You're going to fall over onto the couch, fall over onto your bed. Try not to fall on the dog. Lift the heel, hold it up, hold it up. Ah, see? See? Nobody's perfect. We do the best we can. Reach back with your right hand, grab your left foot. Pull your heel to your tailbone. Pull that heel to the tailbone. Bend the left knee, hinge forward. Remember, hand on a wall if you need to, right? I'd rather you just focus on being upright and trying to stretch through the quad a little bit. Pulling the heel to the tailbone opens up the left shoulder. But if we can go forward and plant the hand and lift the knee and push knee into palm and keep pulling with the left arm. Man, that's a great feeling. Release. Bring your shin up in front of you. Grab below the knee, above the foot. Okay, my left foot enjoyed some of that tequila from yesterday, if you watched yesterday. I was sanitizing my hands with tequila, and then I sanitized my liver with some tequila. Step back. I'm just kidding. Not a good idea to drink right now. Lowers your immune system. Lift your back heel. Turn your palms. Bow forward. Left knee bends. And as you push back, right knee bends. Left leg straightens. Keep those arms above your peripheral vision as you look at the top edge of your mat. Reach back as you push forward. Push back as you reach forward. Connect the tips of your thumbs. Push forward, reach back. Last one. Connect your thumbs. Open your hands. Press your chest to your shirt and your butt to your pants. And then straighten the back leg and rise. Step and connect the palms. Take a deep breath in. Exhale left. Inhale up. To the left again, exhale. Inhale up. Last one. Exhale to the left. Hold it here. We do lots of movements of 3 because when I was a kid, I learned watching Schoolhouse Rock that 3 is the magic number. Pressure in your palms, lift the left heel, maybe lift the left knee. And come back to center. So that first 5 minutes or so is really focused on developing stability while we start to stretch some essential joints and muscles. Now we're going to step the feet a little bit wider. I didn't step off my mat, notice that. And we got our zombie squats. And rise up. 3 is the magic number. Squat down, that's 2. And rise up. And squat down. Now keep your butt low, not below your knees. Don't sit down like here. We don't want the back to round. We want a nice flat back. And we're going to lift the heels and flip the palms. Reach for the ceiling and rise. Lower the heels. Lower the hands to the outside of the knees. Try to push your knees together while you try to push your hands apart. Wedge the elbows inside of the knees and try to push your knees apart. Try to push your elbows together. If we go to the other side, you can see back is pretty straight there. And then we're going to squat all the way down. Now, just practice putting a knee on the floor and lifting. Notice I plant my hand first and I plant my knee because I don't know what kind of shape your feet are in, knees are in, hip bones are in, but we all want to be able to kneel down, right? You might have to pick up something like a grandchild, something beautiful. Now, if you can, try to lift the knee, lower the knee, lift the knee, lower the knee, and now try to lower one at a time, and now try to lower one at a time, both touching, down, down, and down, down. And then, if you're really feeling frisky, because we got past those Monday blues, both knees down, both knees up. Enough of that business. Step back. Crouching cat. What's crouching cat? Well, do down dog, and then bend your knees a little bit. Not a lot. You're just trying to shorten the tension in your hamstrings so that your low back can lift your butt up. When we plant the heels and straighten the legs, the back might tend to round. And if I go to side, you can see that a little bit better if you're looking, but hopefully your head is down. Now, one more important thing, bend those knees a little bit, and then lift your chin until you're looking down where sweat would fall off your nose and hit your mat. That's where I want you to focus. So you can't see your feet, you can't see your hands really. Lift your heels, breathe in. Press them down, breathe out. Lower the knees, hips back, push into palms. Again, this is the same every time. I just spoke right into my robot nipple. Sorry about that. Push forward to plank, chest to the floor, push and press. I got to remember when my butt is up and my head is down, not to talk directly into that thing. All right, let's do it again. Lift your heels, breathe in. Lower your heels without straightening your legs. Bring your knees gently to the floor. Pull the hips back, push into the palms. Push forward all the way to plank. You can lower your knees first, by the way, guys. Chest to the floor. Push back up. Press back, lift the knees, but keep them bent. Lift your heels, we're doing one more. Press your heels down. Lower the knees. 3 is the magic number. Pull the hips back, push down into the palms, spring to plank, and chest to the floor. Push and press. Go ahead and lower those knees. Take a break for a second. So, which camera am I at? We want to do 3 things. There's 3 series of movements that I always begin my practice with. One is stability, and that's when we were standing and balancing on one foot. And then there's this flexion pattern where you're bending your knees, you're bending your hips, you're bending your elbows. And then last, there's something I call volution, and that is something much closer to a traditional sun salutation, but it's designed to really vigorously work mobility into the spine, and that carries down into the hips. So let's go through volution, shall we? Go ahead and plant your hands again. Press your hips back and lift your right leg up. Step between your thumbs and inhale, pull your chest forward. And that's going to look different to everyone. We're just going hard over the top edge of the mat. And then when you push back, you're simply trying to push your hip creases away from the top of your mat. And that can look like a lot of things. But as best we can, we want to push back and get this right leg as straight as we can. At minimum, that's what we're trying to do. Now you can always lift the back heel, bend the back knee and go palm to knee and reach back with your bowling ball. And then roll the ball, turn to the right, and pivot to your left. Now this is what's called a skull hold. Slide the thumb over the ear and twist your chest. Today, I thought we'd talk quite a bit about skull hold. Reach down and turn back to the top of your mat. Reach up, lift the back heel, pull the elbows down, and turn to the right. Reach up, face forward, plant your hands. Step back, chest to the floor. Maybe a couple of times. Maybe 3 times. 3's the magic number. Lift your left leg up. Step forward. Inhale. Pull your heart over the top edge of your mat. Exhale. Push your hips away from the top edge of your mat. And then if you want, right palm to knee or thigh, and then left hand reaches back to roll the bowling ball. And then go ahead and roll it, twist to your left, and then turn to your right. Right hand to the side of the head, half skull hold, and then twist to your right. Reach down, turn back to the front, reach up. So that's why it's called volution. We're always turning, always twisting. Elbows pull back, tighten the belly, turn to your left, reach up, face forward, place your hands on the mat, step back, do a push-up, maybe 2 or 3. One of these days this week, stick with me, I'm gonna really try to unpack why no down dog, why no up dog. Lift your right leg up, step forward, inhale, chest to your shirt, exhale, push back, inhale, roll the ball, turn to the right, exhale, pivot to the left. Left hand to the side of the head, half skull, twist to the left. Exhale, turn back to the right. Reach both hands up. Pull the elbows down, tighten the belly, turn to the right. Reach up, face forward. Exhale, plant the hands. Step back, do a push-up, and press. Left leg lifts. Exhale, step. Inhale, heart forward. Exhale, push back. Come forward, roll the ball, twist left. Exhale, turn to the right. Right hand to the half skull, twist to the right. Exhale, turn back to the left. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, cactus twist. Inhale, center. Exhale, plant your hands. Do 1 push-up or 2 or 3. Press back into crouching cat when you're done. And let's do 1 more set because 3 is the magic number. Lift your right leg up. Exhale, step. Inhale, forward. Exhale, push back. Inhale, roll the ball, twist to the right. Exhale, turn to the left. Left hand half skull, twist to the left. Exhale, turn to the right. Inhale, rise up. Twist to the right. Inhale to the center. Plant the hands. Give your body some push-ups. It wants them, it needs them, it likes them. Lift your left leg up. Step forward. Inhale, chest forward. Exhale, push back. Inhale, roll the ball, twist left. Exhale to the right. Right hand to the side of the head, twist to the right. Reach down, turn back to the top. Reach both hands up. And twist to the left. Inhale to center. Exhale, plant the hands. Last call for push-ups. Last call for push-ups. Press back, lower the knees. Sit to your heels, lay your palms on your thighs. Slow your breath down. That breath feels good. That pumping in your heart, doesn't that feel good? Suddenly, you don't have the chills anymore. Your living room or wherever you are doesn't feel as cold. You might have a super hot hat on that doesn't even belong to you, that you're going to have to explain why it's wet. These are all things to pause and think about. So through those three series of different combinations of movements, the stability, which is standing, flexion, and also volution, what we're doing is trying to prime the body with blood in the muscles, almost in the same way that you might push on that little tiny red button on your lawnmower. Who mows their lawn anymore? And it primes the engine, primes the carburetor with gas. All right, let's just move on, shall we? I don't know. I have the weirdest thoughts sometimes. So, I did remember, like, be a fucking halfway decent yoga teacher and encourage people to have one of these and use one of these. That's a yoga block. Usually I don't grab a yoga block because when I'm practicing, I have so many mental blocks. So, step right foot forward into Knight's pose. And then lift the back knee. We're going to start with Anjaneyasana. It's always nice to, when we actually begin our postural practice, start with a nice back bend. Connect your palms. Thumbs touching your unicorn horn. Elbows are close. Armpits pull back. Now lift the back heel, but keep weight in your front heel. And lift your heart, look up. A great master once said, "My poses are prayers." Lean forward and twist to the right. Bend the back knee if you want. Play around with that. See what that does for you. Untwist. Now, like a responsible teacher, I'm going to grab this yoga block to show you. You can tilt the block to any orientation. I've got the block behind my right heel. You could always use a book. Go get a center block out of the garden. That gives you some more challenges, like weight-wise, right? But I am trying to straighten my right leg, and see, when you're live, all kinds of weird things happen. I'm trying to, let's switch. Boom! Am I switched? No. Switch. Oh, there we go. Technology. All right, here we go. I wanted you to see that I could just go forehead to knee and round my back. And then again, I just spoke into my robot nipple, sorry. But what I want you to think about is trying to pull your collarbones over the top edge of your mat. Straighten the right leg. The left knee can bend, it's okay. It does a lot of great things when you bend that back knee. It changes the angle of your right hip, and it also helps you splay your toes on your left foot and improve range of motion in your hallux joint. All right, let's release that. Take the block out, lower the left knee down, and toe heel your right foot to the right. And I just want you to slide that left hand out to the corner of your mat and pull your hips low and push your right knee away from your chest. I don't know when would be a good time to mention this, so I might as well just tell you. You gotta watch the new Mark Maron special on Netflix. Step back, bend your knees, move through your hips, push down into your heels, press your heart towards your feet. You can't do it wrong. Betty from Ohio, you're doing it wrong. Just kidding. You can't do it wrong. Seriously. Just breathe. I'm really enjoying Crouching Cat today, so we're just going to hold this for another breath. And then lower the knees. It's beautiful because every time you're pressing, you're just taking the opportunity to lengthen through the front of the body, give some more space for those lungs to breathe. Step the left foot forward. Nice pose. And let's go back short side. So, you know, we have to accept probably that like a lot of people will get sick, some will get mildly sick, some will barely even notice it. But if we're healthy today, let's just stop and appreciate that. We're always trying to imbue every cell of the body with a feeling of gratitude. Gratitude. If you've got the time to be on your mat and breathing, that's a beautiful thing. Let's lean forward, lift the back knee up, and reach up into Anjaneyasana. Anjaney means angel, so reach up for him. Lift the back heel. And now let's create a mohawk. And it could be like in your practice, it can be just a divine prayer, you know? That's the beauty of this. It gets to mean to you whatever it means. Lift the heart with the center of your spine. Lift the back heel. Really drive the ball of your right foot into the floor. So somebody couldn't lift your right foot off of the floor, and they couldn't push your right knee to the floor. Bring your hands down to your chest. Thumbs touch the heart, or robot nipple. Lean forward and twist to your left. Keep floating the heart over the knee. Don't drop that elbow to the knee. This is a whole different ball game when you're trying to teach yourself to rotate using rotation muscles. And I personally feel very strongly, I can hold my right hip in place better with my right knee bent. I've just got so much more engagement through the muscles of the legs. It all ties into the hips and pelvis. Keep turning and then untwist. Hinge forward. Grab your yoga block if you have it, your book, your cinder block, whatever it is. Remember, if you don't have a block, stack your hands on your shin. Press the heart forward. Collarbones are trying to touch your shirt. And you're trying to stretch out the back of your pants or shorts with your butt. Push back. Want that spine straight, legs straight, and the right knee bending changes that angle. Keep the big toe glued to the floor, the heel glued to the floor on the left foot, and then slowly release. Lower that knee and step left foot left. Right hand steps out wide to the top right corner. Left hand to the knee and just push knee away from heart. You can even lean heart away from knee. Let the hips come down towards the floor a little bit. I never use words like drop. I try to be precise with my words. That's what I encourage yoga trainees to do. Because drop doesn't indicate control, right? So we deliberately lower, we lift, we press, step back. A little bend in the knees, and I'm trying to tear my mat in half. My heels lifting and trying to drag my mat backwards with my feet causes my hands to slide forward a little bit. But again, go ahead and take those knees to the floor and sit to your heels. Again, what we're really trying to practice is pushing the hands away from the hips and just creating more length through the torso, because all that anxiety, all that tension is just kind of, we're getting down here. Elbows are close to the ribs. We want to hug ourselves, right? We want to curl into a fetal position because this is scary. But another thing that I say in yoga a lot is, it's not hard, it's new, right? So anytime we're doing something new, we're confronted by something new. That can feel hard, right? But this is sort of a new way of living. We'll figure it out because we got the biggest brains next to dolphins. I think dolphins are actually smarter than human beings, and they have evolved to the point where they watch us and go like, I don't know about those guys that walk around on the land. They seem pretty cool. I like it when they get in here and swim with us. They're pretty cool, but I don't know what they're doing with the money and the this is my land. They just swim around and have fun and hang out with their family. I love that, don't you? All right, now we're gonna keep left knee down, right foot forward. And we're going to twist with a half skull hold. Now I told you we were gonna talk a little bit about half skull. So I want you to, am I on side? I'm on side. Half the time I'm talking to one camera, but I'm being filmed from the other. So, but that's only because my yoga is so powerful that I'm so present. And there I was, still talking to the other camera. All right, look, you see what I'm doing? I'm in a knight's pose. This is a half skull. Now I want you to see, I'm going to take off my daughter's hat because I've sweated in it enough today. I've got thumb over the ear. That's where I would slide a pencil. Like if I was writing with something, knee to my hand, I'd slide the pencil right over my thumb. And then my thumb is right under my earlobe, my pinky's right on the top of my head, and my fingers wrap around. If I was to go into a full skull hold, my fingers wouldn't wrap behind me because I'm not preparing to be arrested, all right? Anything in your pockets? We would have our fingertips touching at best, and thumbs over the ears, pinkies on the top of the head. This is a skull hold. It's like creating a cage for your skull, or creating a cage for your brain if you didn't have a skull. And I feel that way sometimes. So we're going into a half skull hold. And remember, guys, it's not so much that the pinky has to be right here and the thumb has to be right here and the middle finger has to be right here. It's the fact that we're trying to be mindful of how and when we touch our body. Do you remember the Divinals? I don't want anybody else when I think about Yoga, I stretch myself. I changed it because I don't know who's watching. All right, let's do this. I'm sitting here trying to get more people to watch my YouTube yoga show, and it just seems like a train wreck at this point. People are like, who is this guy? Trust me, I'm an acquired taste. Right hand, half skull, left hand on the floor, and I'm gonna draw my right elbow away from my left foot. And I'm starting to look at the wall, which was to my left. And your results, of course, are gonna vary, right? We're gonna go right foot right, elbows down. We're going pretty deep into the hips pretty quickly today. And you might not be elbows down, right? You might be hands here, hips back, chest forward. Remember, you can move around. Movement is medicine. This dogma that we hold a pose and we hold it tight, it does serve a legitimate function for connective tissue, but it doesn't mean that's all we do. This vehicle we inhabit is the most miraculous thing we could ever hope to live in, short of a dolphin body. Step back. Now, let's do a little bit of a twist from crouching cat. We're going to turn heels left and slide right foot behind left leg and slowly take right hand off the floor and turn the chest. We have to be really careful about where the fingers are pointing on that left hand, but let's just reach right hand for the wall that is our crown of our head is facing. Reach away from your knees, in other words. And then just push back, maybe even lift the heels. And slowly lower the hips and flip back over. Step the left foot forward into knight's pose. And then come back up. Yeah, I think that modern postural yoga in many respects is very dogmatic in its approach, and you do one side, then you do the other, and there's certain rules that I've had a lot of fun, and I think a lot of great results tweaking. Right hand's on the floor, left hand, half skull. Thumb slides over the ear, fingers wrap around like you're holding something precious, okay? And now, turn your chest to the left knee. You're not trying to turn to the ceiling. Just turn your chest to the left and then lift left elbow away from right foot. Lift the chin. Hold the head, but don't push the head into the fingers. And then slowly release. And let's take that left foot out a little bit wider. Lower the elbows if you can, and stay up if you can't. Remember, it's going to look different on everybody. And you're going to feel this in different places. And none of that is wrong. I'm just moving curiously and organically into my hips. And just paying attention to what I feel. And that's something that we've all got to work on. We've got to pay attention to what we feel. I'm going to come down onto the elbows for a second. And it feels good just to work into those hips, because this is like, these are emotional joints, the hips and the shoulders. We can tension, we get emotionally stressed out, and right there my shoulders are creeping up to my ears, and I want to press, I want to create space, I want to create a looseness back in my hips, because that is our feeling, that's our instinct. That was the first position. We would just curl into a ball, into a fetal position, and we would sleep and roll around in our mom's belly. And that was the most beautiful state we could ever hope to be in. And then when we encounter the craziness of life, the whole time I've been talking to the wrong camera. This is so annoying. There we go. When you're doing this by yourself, there's going to be a lot of technical problems. But when we're confronted by the stress of what's happening now, and like I said, that is, it's new. Let's accept that this is sort of a new thing that we have to learn how to do. And that is probably a good thing, right? All right. Now go ahead and step your left foot forward. And now we're going to turn to the long side of the mat and stand up. And now that I'm upright, I can see which camera I'm talking to. And what, look at that, I just pooped my microphone out. Yoga live! I think most people by now are like, yeah, I'm just going to watch it pre-recorded and edited from now on. This is a warrior stance. Feet are turned away from each other 90 degrees. But we're going to skip warrior 2 today. And we're going to come into a triangle. We're going to work back into that half skull in a triangle position. Tilting the pelvis over the right leg. Place the hand on the shin or place the back of the hand on the inner calf. Left hand comes to the half skull. Then I bend left knee and lift left elbow away from left hip, pushing back. Your right hand can come to the floor. You can keep it on your shin. And keep working left elbow away from left hip and left hip away from left elbow. Pull left armpit back. We're trying to prevent our chest from turning to the right foot or the floor. And then slowly release into a reverse. All of these lateral movements are really helping us stretch down all these intercostal, all these core muscles that tighten up under stress. We just sort of, I got to bear this. So we want to find that space again where we can chill out, slow down. We're still moving. I'm still moving right now. It just slowed down. Rise up. And now we're going to go hands to the floor and sit to the left heel. Because we're going to do that one more time. The more you bring your body to the floor, the more leverage you have, right? The more I can use parts of my body to push against solid object. That's why we typically start our practice standing. It's a lot lower risk. There's less leverage, right? Push your right heel down. I've got my right spider on the floor. Spider's your fingertips. Left hand half skull. And we've been doing this a lot this week, but I know not everybody's going to watch every single practice, except probably my mom. Hi, Mom. But I'm always going to be practicing kind of what I'm feeling I need, what I think people could benefit from. Now let's go ahead and come back to center and rise up. Turn the left foot out. Create your warrior stance. That's feet turned 90 degrees. I love you all so much that I duct tape my phone onto my wrist. But it sort of messes up my... Ugh. All right. Tilt in the pelvis. Sometimes I've been thinking this week that if these videos start to become successful on YouTube, it's because people just want to watch me like be a train wreck. Instead of like, oh, that was a good class. I can't wait to tune in tomorrow. Plant your hand on your shin. And like I said, I'm an acquired taste, but stick with me. This could get fun. Or place the back of your hand on the inside of your calf. Slide your right thumb over your ear. And then begin to lift right elbow away from right hip and simultaneously bend right knee. And again, that changes the angle from your spine to your left leg, and you might be able to get that left hand to the floor. So we're slowly going to roll out a lot of the variations we do in the PRISM method. And that's an acronym. It stands for Proprioceptive Re-Education Through Intelligent Sequential Movement. Keep lifting right elbow away from right knee and pulling right hip back away from right elbow. And then release. And then you just sort of, it's like letting out the steam, right? I don't have to biomechanically achieve something perfect coming out of it so much as I want to come up mindfully. I'm really trying to not just work out my body, therapeutically rehabilitate my body and strength, but I'm trying to pay attention to it. And that is how we develop better proprioception. Proprioception is one of many senses we have, and we have way more than 5. We learn the big 5 in school. And the 6th sense, beyond being the last good Bruce Willis movie, it's proprioception, not seeing the dead. Okay. Turn. Plant the hands near the right foot. Sit to the right heel. We're going to do that one more time. Creating space from the underarm or the shoulder to the hips. Lengthening that torso. Deep breaths. Trying to lengthen and relax those muscles that feel tight from stress and anxiety. Left spider's on the floor. Left heel is pushing down. We want to see that knee lift up a little bit because that means we're active through the hamstring. Slide right hand to half skull and lower left ear towards thigh. Tuck that right armpit back. So as I face you guys, it feels a little bit like I'm trying to drag myself towards the camera with my left fingertips. And then elbow lifting away from right knee. Release. Man, that feels good. And then we're going to come back to center and toe heel your feet in a little bit closer. Sit the hips low, don't drop. Remember, use control. Be aware. Feel. Heels high. Clamp knees into shoulders. Grab the floor and lift the feet. Squeeze knees into triceps or elbows. Lower the feet. Lower the knees, and then lift your butt off your heels. I'm going to switch so you can see. I'm not going to thrust my pelvis forward, even though that might initially feel good in those hip flexors. But what I want to do instead is just sit back, place my hands on my heels, and instead of thrusting my groin forward, I'm actually going to pull the groin back and lift the heart, look up. And you can slowly begin to relax the muscles in your neck. Release. And we're going to take a seat however you can get there. And send the right foot out. Do I want to start there? All right, let's do this. Baddha Konasana. Bring the soles of your feet together. Your heels may not be this close to your groin. They might be out here. Your knees might be lifted. All I want you to do is hold your feet, hold your shins anywhere, okay? Soles of your feet together. And focus instead of trying to pull your heels in and go forward and just curl into a ball. Remember, this is the feeling we want to try to avoid today. This feeling of, I want to cry and curl into my mommy's womb again. Let's lift up. Just focus on trying to slide your butt backwards and lift your heart up. I want you to create that feeling in your chest that Superman must feel as soon as he tears off his Clark Kent business shirt, right? So you may not have a tattoo on your chest, but let's play a fun game. Imagine you have one, right? Just for the day, just for Tuesday. What would it be? Something badass, I hope. I would get a tattoo of a kitten in a taco. No, something badass. A big skull or a heart with missed muscles doing this. Like, yeah. Find your inner badass. And this practice, go ahead and plant your right foot, sweep left foot to right hip. This practice is about tapping into badassiness. Hold on to your knee with your left hand or your elbow. And I mention this a lot. Try not to go across. Hold your elbow on the inside and fire your bicep. Place your hand behind you, tighten your belly, twist to the right. And then release and thread right foot to left hip, step left foot back, capture a knee, reach back with your left hand, and sit up tall. Now, if your hips are still tight, if you have chronically tight hips, stick with me. We're going to work on all that stuff, but it might mean you're kind of rounded over. But make sure, hold your knee with your hand if holding your knee and your elbow is going to pull your butt off the floor, or if it's going to round your back. What I really want you to feel is that you're rotating your spine from your hips to your shoulders. That's the key feeling. Release. Now, if you're in a place where you've started to enjoy your mandatory staycation, you can lie down. Wouldn't it be great if you could just stay home and not stress about like how work might be piling up or how the bills might be piling up? And we can take advantage of at least some of this time and some of this change to start to pay attention to how we feel. I'm going to stand up and come back to the desk, but feel free to stay there on your mat. Whether you're seated or whether you're lying down on your back, take some deep breath. So one of the things that I often tell students, particularly ones that feel like my yoga class isn't spiritual enough, or I don't talk enough about the Upanishads and the Mahabharata, and I do, but I always like to say it doesn't have to be mystical to be magical. If you're seated or if you're lying down right now, it's absolutely magic when you take that next breath. There are so many things happening in the moment that you're taking that breath. Oxygen delivery, fueling blood, and it's taking all of these miraculous tiny events that we don't pay any attention to because we're so concerned with glowing screens and what the news report says today and how things are shifting on such a fast level right now, that this is the best time to just pause. Take some breath and appreciate the fact that we're alive. Take the opportunity to take care of ourselves, take the best care of ourselves so that we remain healthy and strong, or if we do get sick, we bounce back. And also to be strong for the people that are going to need our help. That's all the best reasons to be taking care of ourselves. And I'm going to end on that note. I hope you guys have a great day. Thanks for joining me today. Be back here tomorrow for live yoga, daily yoga live. Have a great day, everybody.